What's up guys? Hi, my name is Abdel and I am here to talk to you about the expectations and realities of living in Canada. I've been living here in Vancouver for a year and a half now, and I receive a lot of questions from friends and family members who always keep asking me the same basic questions, and people who have the same basic conceptions and ideas about how life in Canada is. So today I decided to make this video to tell you from my own point of view how I see these things and what I think is true, what I think is not true. So if you are interested in knowing and learning about life in Canada, stay tuned. So I'm almost certain that you'd agree with me if I told you that the first thing that comes to mind when talking about Canada is that it's an extremely cold country. Well, it depends on the season and it depends on where you are. Some places like Winnipeg, for instance, it gets really cold during the winter, -40. It's crazy cold. However, in the summer, it can get to up or plus 40 degrees Celsius. For people living in the West Coast like myself here in Vancouver, BC, it doesn't really get that crazy cold. Like, we have had no snow whatsoever this year, no snow at all. When I tell people that we don't have any snow here, they just think that I am lying to them. Sometimes I have to show them by video, look, there's no snow. It's just a myth that it snows everywhere in Canada during the winter time. It's not always true. It does get cold in some other places, but not here. But there's a catch. It doesn't snow here, but again, rent is extremely expensive. So there's that price we pay here. The second expectation that a lot of people have about Canada is that it's a bilingual country. This is true officially. Canada is a bilingual country, with French and English being the two official languages. However, if you live in the English-speaking part of the country, you will find that you don't really need French to get by. If you don't speak French and you end up in Alberta or BC, you will see that you don't really need French in the street. I've been living here in BC for a year and a half now, and I have never ever felt the need to speak French. I do speak French and I use it at work. So this is important. If you are bilingual, if you speak both languages, it's going to be a good plus for you. It will look good on your resume, and you might even be paid a little extra for that, as opposed to your English-speaking colleagues. However, it's not mandatory. You can get by English, by using English only. There's no problem. However, if you are planning on living in Quebec, then French is required because it's the first language in that province. French is also widely spoken in New Brunswick. I think like 25% of the population of New Brunswick speak French. So if you end up in either one of these provinces, you would probably need French to get by. Now, the third point I hear people talking about a lot when it comes to Canada is that they seem to think that Canada is a very expensive country. For me personally, I do find that it's a very expensive country, but that's because I'm coming from Morocco in North Africa. So to me, prices here are a lot higher than what I am used to. However, if you've lived your entire life in New York City or in Paris or London or Sydney, you would probably not notice the difference, or maybe you would even find that it's cheaper here than there. So that's the first thing. The second thing is that it highly depends on where in Canada you're located. Prices in, say, where I live in Vancouver, BC, are not the same as prices somewhere else in, say, it's not the same as in Edmonton or Winnipeg. Vancouver is an extremely expensive city, even by Canadian standards. But there are other places where it's more affordable. For instance, a one-bedroom apartment in Vancouver costs around $1,600, while in Winnipeg you can get the same kind of apartment for, I don't know, $700, $800, so 50% of that. So yeah, it depends. It also depends on what you do. Your line of work will determine how much money you make, and that will determine how comfortable or uncomfortable, financially speaking, you are. If you are living on like minimal wage, a big city like Vancouver would probably not be the best choice for you. However, if you do have a good job with a good salary, then I don't see why not. You would definitely enjoy living in a big city in Canada. There's no problem. As is the case with Canada's infamous weather, you must have heard stories about how nice Canadians are. And generally speaking, yes, this is the truth. I've seen a lot of nice Canadians. I've dealt with a lot of great people here. People are generally friendly. They take an interest in who you are, what you bring, where you came from, your story. They want to get to know you. They want to know stuff about you, and they tell you that they are there to help you if you needed any kind of help. And that's really great, and that's really wonderful, especially for somebody who's come to the country for the very first time. They have no friends and no family here. It's really important to build that connection with the people in your surroundings, with your community, make some friends. That's a really important part of the whole Canadian experience. However, I can't deny that I've seen some rotten apples, but I believe that those are just the exceptions that prove the rule, because generally speaking, I've met some really top-notch, excellent people. The other, I would say the other side, no, not the other side, but just I've also noticed that some people here can be like really cold, secluded, indifferent. They don't really care about you, and I am fine with that, as long as you don't attack me or my family, as long as you're not an a-hole to me, basically, then that's really all I'm asking for. Yeah, so basically this is it, which will bring me to the next point that I would like to talk about, which is Canada is a very multicultural place. Yes, that's totally the case, because Canada has been built, the pillars of the country are or have been built by immigrants. Immigration has been the core at the core of the Canadian society since forever. So yes, you can see this in the street. You can meet people from all over the world. At work, you see people from every part of the world. In the streets, everywhere you go, you can see that there is multiculturalism here. And what is nice, what is good about Canada is that it's not a melting pot, unlike the US, for instance. They don't ask you to forget who you are and forget who you are, where you came from. No, you get to keep your identity. You get to be who you are, and just be a nice person, just be a law-abiding person, and that's all they're asking you, which is great, which is wonderful, which I find that this is the place to be, honestly, because you get to choose who you are, you get to choose who you want to be, and you don't have to pretend to be somebody else to fit in. Like, honestly, when we came here the first day, we went out in the street and nobody could tell that we're foreigners. Nobody could tell that we're new to the country, because everyone looks like different, and you can't tell. There's nothing distinctive about me or about my wife that says that, hey, we're new here, except maybe the fact that we were checking the map every now and then and asking people around. Apart from that, like, nobody, we've had no problems, and yeah, I love the fact that this country is a very multicultural country, and that was one of the reasons we picked it in the first place. So all in all, this is all I wanted to talk about today. If you feel that there are any things that I've overlooked, anything that you would like me to cover next time, please let me know in the comment section below. I promise I'm gonna read your comment, I'm going to answer you, and I'm going to make a video soon about whatever topics I see that you guys are interested in. If you want me to cover anything at all about Canada or about living in BC, in Vancouver particularly, let me know and I'll get back to you with an answer. Thank you very much. Sub, like, and see you soon.